Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Spyderco Tenacious. As a knife collector, I should have bought this a long time ago, but I didn't. And to be honest, the reason why is because I am personally, my personal opinion, don't really go for knives with liner locks. This is a liner lock. However, if you're a knife collector and if you're a knife reviewer on YouTube, this is a must-have. This is essentially a quintessential budget EDC. Runs about $42 just about everywhere. I'm sure you could find specials here and there. I went ahead and provided a link to Amazon, running $42. This is the plain edge version, silver. They do also have ones with a black coating, and they do have a combination partially serrated edge available also. So if you're interested, please feel free to dig down the description box, click on the link, check it out, support my channel. I did buy this with my own money. Nobody sent it to me. This is something that I personally wanted to make sure that I brought to you so we can both learn about it together. So let's start off with the packaging. Here we go. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the Spyderco packaging, and you just sort of slide it open. It's in there with a little plastic baggie that held the knife, and also this product information and warranty guide. Lots of good stuff in there. Very well written. I encourage you to always read this stuff. There's always a gem of information in there somewhere. Now they do say Golden, Colorado. This is the budget, a budget knife. So Spyderco doesn't make all their knives in Boulder, Colorado, Earth, USA. Their budget line comes from other places, and this particular one is made in China. So if you don't want to see a review of a Chinese knife, I'm letting you know right up front so I don't waste your time. However, I must say that China is making knives just as good as anywhere else, and they're doing it cheaper right now for whatever reason you want to call it. and that's why this is a budget knife. China knows how to put together very inexpensive knives, but they're very high value. So this is, as far as purpose and description of this knife, this is a very high value, budget price EDC. EDC standing for everyday carry for those of you who are new to the knife review, knife collecting world. So let's go ahead and get to the knife review. When this is closed, when you're carrying it around, it is 4.45 inches. If you do want the millimeters, just look in the description box. The handle is G10, has some nice texturing. I'll let you take a look at that. So it is pretty grippy. I think it's the right amount of traction is there. Maybe a little, I mean, it's not aggressive, but it's not smooth. And you can see, I see how I'm moving that knife in my hand. That means it is providing some traction. It's covering skeletonized liners. I'm going to let me see if I can. You can see the holes that are drilled out in the liner. That helps lighten it up. So because of that, this knife weighs 4.1 ounces, which is not extremely light, but it would be a lot more if they didn't skeletonize those liners. So it is, I would say, a medium weight. It's not a lightweight knife. I prefer a little heft with my knife anyway. Unless I'm wearing some really light, thin pants. But if I'm wearing like normal everyday pants, I prefer something of this weight. But if weight is critical, it is a medium weight. You have a 4-way clip. What's a 4-way clip? That means you can mount it here, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So you have left, right, tip up, tip down options. Now out of the box it comes right-handed, tip down. You just remove these 3 Torx screws. I believe these are T6. And then you move the clip, screw them on, you're good to go. I would recommend, if you do that, to use a little bit of Loctite of some sort just to make sure those don't back down. And speaking of Torx, you have a pivot screw right here, so you could adjust your pivot point. That is a T9 that I've verified because I got a T9 right there, and I did adjust it a little bit. It was a little tight out of the box, so I went ahead and loosened it up a hair. Just wanted to let you know that by loosening it up enough where I could flip this out like this, it is borderline pretty loose. So again, while you got the Loctite out, go ahead and apply a little bit there once you get it exactly where you want it. Let's go ahead and deploy the knife. It's deployed with the Spidey hole. That's a 1/2 inch hole. I really love these Spidey holes. They know how to do them right. One thing that you'll notice between this hole and like other knives is it has a very sharp edge. You know, you can it's nice and sharp. See how my finger's holding on to that? And what that helps you do is get a good grip on that blade. You know, it just catches your finger. I wish everybody did that. Now, there we go. It does deploy good now because I'm letting you know that I did adjust the pivot screw a little bit, and I did put a little bit of oil in there. So that's your deployment. So what you're looking at is a leaf style blade. This is the plain edge all the way down. Again, you could get these in combination where you have partially serrated. You could get the black coating. This is the satin brushed finish. You have the Spyderco logo right there. You can see it says Spyderco. HCR 13 MOV, which is a Chinese stainless steel, comparable to AS8 440B. Some would debate maybe 440C. Comparable. Take a look at the other side. You can see this one's made in China. China. Really nice. Really nice blade. Full flat grind all the way down. Makes a good slicer. Use it for food prep, things like that. If you do use this for food prep, I recommend you use a food safe oil if you do oil your knife. And you do want to put a little bit of a coating on there, so you want to make sure that you don't put something poisonous on there. There's your blade stop. Medium-sized stop. It's not big, but it's not small either. Does the job. Again, you can see how that liner lock works. By the way, perfect. That's exactly where you want your liner lock to be. It's fully behind the blade. However, it has room to wear, because as these metal surfaces touch each other over the years with use, it will slowly wear to the right. And once it gets all the way over and it can't go anymore, then you're going to start getting some blade play. Let's see. So, your blade length, which I don't know how I got this far in the review without saying it. Blade length is 3.39 inches. Your actual usable blade edge is also 3.9 inches, because you can see it comes all the way back to here. I notice there is no sharpening choil there. So if you're going to sharpen this on the stone, you can definitely, if you're not careful, bump up against the shoulder here. So be careful, or put your own sharpening choil right in there. A lot of people like to use the rods on the Spydercos, which is a good thing to use, the ceramic rods. You can't use a clamp-on system, because if you put that clamp-on system, you don't have any flat area up here, since it's a full flat grind. So it'll end up going over one way or the other, and then you'll sharpen the edge unevenly. The edge looks very nice. I don't see anything messed up. It looks nice and even on both sides and equal. Blade thickness is 0.118 inches thick, so it's not an extremely sharp blade. I mean a thick blade, excuse me. You can see the edge just gets a little bit thin, but not too thin. It should hold up. We'll go ahead and test it. Got some jimping up here, which I love. I mean, this perfect jimping. See how it's holding on to my thumb? So when you're stabbing between this thumb ramp and the jimping, and a little bit of a finger choil here, That should keep your hand from sliding, along with the traction on the G10. So very well done. Very, very well done. And the lock is that liner lock, and you do have a little bit of jimping there on the liner portion that makes up the lock. And it is, on this side, covered with the G10 scale, and on this side it's open. So for those of you who never used a liner lock before, that's how you close the knife. I've read comments and reviews where people will open it and then not know how to close the knife because they just don't understand the liner lock. All you do is just press it in this direction, just like this. See how that works? And then you could fold it. Now this is where liner locks are dangerous because you could close it on your finger. There's a very famous reviewer by the name of Cutlery Lover. He did a review of this years and years and years and years and years ago, and he cut his finger closing this knife in the video. So these knives can get the best of us, but very, very nice budget EDC. Last thing, you got a lanyard hold. You could definitely squeeze some 550 cord through there. It'll be tight fit, but it is possible. So let's go ahead and go through the test. First, ergonomics. Ergonomics are great. I already talked about a little bit of it already. Reverse grip, the shape of the handle back here sort of droops down, so if you got the reverse grip it feels pretty comfortable. And regular grip, good. So I always hold my knife like this when I do precision work and cutting open boxes. Feels good because the way that clip is, you can rest your finger up here and do your fine work. Keep your pinky up. And by the way, clip is perfect. Perfect amount of tension. It's definitely going to hold onto your pants really good. It's not deep conceal, but it sticks out. I'll close this up. Sticks out that much, so you do have something to grab onto to get that out. Blade centering, perfect out of the box. Perfect. Couldn't ask for anything more. By the way, this is a flow through. You can see your standoffs right there, designed so dirt won't get stuck in there. Forgot to point that out. Deployment, again, this was a little bit tight out of the box. I did loosen it up, and now I'm just not knowing how to operate it, but just preload that tension and whoop, flies open fast. Lock up, no up and down play, no side to side play, and again, lock up is perfect, exactly where you want it. Sharpness. Now I have not sharpened this knife. Again, the only thing I did was adjust the pivot screw a little bit, loosened it up just a hair, and oiled it. And wow, we are talking, whoops, operator, we are talking, what am I doing there? Push cutting this thing. Very, very sharp. Alright, so sharp out of the box. Can it shave hair? Guess what? I got lots of hair, so we could go ahead and test that out. And now I have less hair on my hand. Huh. There we go. It is shaving sharp out of the box. Now, since this is HCR 13 MOV, it's a little bit softer, so you're going to get a little wear. It's not the best in corrosion protection, but it's not the worst either. So again, I would recommend you keep it a little bit oiled, and also you're going to have to sharpen this with normal use. And fortunately, because of the nature of the steel, it's easy to sharpen. Very easy to sharpen. Last test that I typically do is stab some wood. I don't recommend you do this with your knife. It's considered abuse, knife abuse. I'm going to go ahead and stab this. This is soft pine. It's nothing special, but I want to check and make sure that the tip doesn't come off too easy, so I'm not going to go crazy, but we'll see how well it does, so you don't have to. See, it's getting in there. Now let's take a look at the tip. Wipe off the marks, and held up pretty good. I don't see any damage to the blades. It looks like they did their heat treatment correctly. So I'm getting ready to wrap things up, and I did notice one other thing, and that's the washers. Look like they're phosphor bronze or bronze phosphor washers, so they're not Teflon. So good quality washers in there. Probably too hard to see from here, but really good. So what are the cons? Well, I could see some minor imperfections. If I could, I should have showed you while you were down close, but you could see it right there. Okay, so you can see a little bit on the liner right in here, minor. Machining left over, then covered by the scales. Not anything that would affect the performance of the knife in any way. So, you know, it's not a perfect knife, but for what it is and the price, what's great about this knife is you're getting a Spyderco with a very classic Spyderco leaf design that is a very, very good blade with decent steel at a price that if you were to lose a knife, you're not going to be feeling that gut-wrenching feeling in your stomach that you've lost a $100 knife. It's 42 bucks. It could be on sale any day. You never know. These things tend to go on sale, and you could maybe even get a couple more dollars cheaper or whatever. And the reviews are awesome, and people have these particular knives for years and years and years, and all they do is sharpen them up a little bit, and they just go on forever. Really good liner lock folder. It's one of the few that I really like. I am a fan. You just can't appreciate it until you have one in your hand. Holidays are coming up, and if you know somebody who likes knives or into survival or anything like that, or is a sportsman, this would be a great gift or a great stocking stuffer, and they wouldn't be afraid to use it. You don't have to worry about giving it to them and then they're just going to, you know, pamper it in a drawer and collect it. This is a user. It's a using kind of knife. You want to use this, but it looks and works outstanding. Alright, so I highly recommend it. Again, links below. Please support my channel. Please thumbs up. Please at least check out the link. Check out Amazon right now, going for $41.97. And again, don't be afraid to, you know, look around, scroll down. You can see some of the other Spydercos and other versions down there, and even a sharpener or two. Holidays coming. Alright, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care.